Welcome back to my comic book room. This is Trent Deckard, and I am reading comic books to you here from the safety of my comic book room. We're recording this on a Friday because we've got some things that we have to do on Saturday that'll keep me from being with you live. But we're going to be reading today Amazing Spider-Man number 50. I have to look at the number every single time, even though I have these mostly memorized. Amazing Spider-Man 50 is only a couple weeks old. It's from the latest volume of Spider-Man. I was reading it a couple weeks ago, and it was scaring the dickens out of me. It was scaring me even more than Curry the cat's constant noises that are happening off screen here. And so we're going to be reading it. I'm joined, of course, by my wife, Kyla. I do want to make you aware of one thing before we do our reading. Two things. I won't forget the second this time. First of all, this is my campaign shirt, which is basically useless in a pandemic. And so if you give $25 or more to a local not-for-profit that you weren't planning on giving, and again, it needs to be somebody benefiting the community, but we're not real harsh sticklers, we will deliver one of these surplus campaign t-shirts out to you that you can wear, use to wipe your car down and chamois it after you're done. If you give 25 or more to the United Way of Monroe County, I'm going to spice this up, where I serve as our Vanguard co-chair of fundraising. If you give to 25 or more to United Way of Monroe County, or I'll throw in any United Way in this country, what I will do is I'll give you 2 of those campaign shirts. How's that? What a savings. So 25 or more. Next time you see me on Scary Saturdays in October, I'm going to be reading to you from Afterlife with Archie. If you like Archie back in the day when it was a little bit more cheap, my gosh, Curry, can you make more noise during this recording? That noise, that's what Afterlife with Archie sounds like, is the zombies claw their way into this. This is a cat possessed. He either likes Spider-Man, Archie, or hates me. Afterlife with Archie, which we'll read next Saturday, which I believe, Kyla, that's Halloween Saturday, right? Oh, spooky. Here's the deal. Afterlife with Archie is, if you can imagine all the characters, don't laugh too much, Kyla, they'll think it's California and an earthquake. If you can imagine all the characters from Riverdale turned into zombies, that's Afterlife with Archie. We'll be reading that for our Halloween reading, which is just simply cool. Okay, so we're going to get started on our reading. Kyla, I'll let you turn to this. Now, let me just set the scene here. Spider-Man for about 2 years to current. This is a current Spider-Man comic book. And by the way, I won't be reading the full thing. If you want the full version of this, and not just the excerpts I'm reading, talk to our folks and friends down at Vintage Phoenix that hook me up with all my comic books, and they can help you out with that and get you on that. They can even add it to your pool. You could literally have Spider-Man coming to you every month or every 2 weeks, depending on when they're releasing it. Curry, I swear this is not going to work well if you do this the whole time. All right. Spider-Man has been followed for the last 2 years by this creature that has these worms, and he's very diabolical. And he has been really hounding him. What's more, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, is back. He is back, and he is in business. So, where we pick up, there's going to be some creepy things, starting with that splash page right there. Here we go. Curry, for heaven's sakes, no more claws. Finally. Oh, that is creepy. I know this has been frustrating, Pete. All the wondering and the waiting. All the nightmares. And as we look closely, we see a worm that's making its way down around a casket in a grave. This has something for everybody. I hope my brother's watching this. Here we go. All the nightmares, all the wondering and the waiting, and I'm sure you're tired of the games. Anyone would be. But I promise you this, there was a method to this particular madness. We begin to see a coffin come from the grave, and poof, the lid flies off the coffin, emerge from the grave. You see, we hear the voice say, I needed to show you something first to help you understand what's to come. But now you're so close, I can feel it in my bones. And I'm not gonna lie, Pete. I'm excited. Soon we'll be face to face. Kyla, go in as close as you can to that scene right there. That is right. We see this sinister creature lifting a body from a coffin. Creepy. And as we go over to the next panel, we hear him say, soon we will meet. Oh, so much. And then in the flesh. And we see George Stacy, rest in peace. George Stacy, just for your background knowledge, was killed in Spider-Man comics in the early 70s, just before his daughter Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man's almost original love, but the biggest love he'd had before Mary Jane. All right, this is written by Nick Spencer and Patrick Gleason as artists. The Amazing Spider-Man in Last Remains, Part 1. And we jump to a scene and we see Spider-Man attempting to fly through the air and not quite having it together. He falls and hits a car and rolls down into some pavement, down into a scene that eventually has him lying very desperately near a dumpster. And we hear Spider-Man say, okay, rough start, I know. And clearly I'm off my game. So what happened to make your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man such a discombobulated mess? Frankly, I'm not even sure I know for the most part, but I do know it's all my fault. And we cut to a scene where we see Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, maskless and in a sewer in just a tiny pool of water. We hear him say, Parker, you picked the worst possible time to grow some backbone. Off camera we hear, you should be proud of how you fought. Less proud of how you run now. But it makes no difference to me, Goblin. It doesn't matter at all. Our sins always catch up to us in the end. And your sins are so many, Norman Osborn. Carter, you idiot. You poor deluded zealot. You really think this is some divine calling, don't you? Being the Sin Eater, confronting us criminals. This boy has really done a number on you, hasn't he? Oh, that's right. I know all about him, the one you serve. Kindred. Now, Kindred was the creature we met earlier, pulling those bodies out of graves. He's not who you think he is, says the Goblin. He's not that all-powerful hellspawn he play-acts to be. He's such a simpering little weakling, like always. He doesn't even have the guts to do this himself. But listen to me, Stan. It's not too late for you. I can help you. Together we could destroy him. You want to cleanse this world of sin? So do I. I've dedicated my life to it. Imagine what we could do as partners. You fool. What is wrong with you? Don't you know who I am? I'm Norman Osborn. I ran this entire country. I saved a world. Who the hell are you to defy me? Answer me, damn it. That's a lot of swearing for so early in a day. We go back to Norman, who says, I'm sorry, Stan. Sometimes I struggle. I get these voices in my head. They get so angry sometimes, and I'm sure you of all people can understand that. You see, Stan, I'm sick. I've been sick for so long, and I need help. You could help me. You see, I don't need punishment. I need mercy. And I know you don't think what you do is punishment, but I don't want my demons exercised. I want to beat them, overcome them. Will you help me, Stan? Please help me. Help. What can I say? You've got me. When you're right, Sin Eater. And as Norman pulls up the goblin mask, his voice begins to take that of the goblin, his other persona. Go ahead and kill him. He's of no use to you anymore. And we see the work is done. from the Sin Eater. And we notice that Norman Osborn, allegedly, is no more. We're going to flash forward to another scene in the comic, equally disturbing. And we hear Kindred's voice again, the creature from earlier, and now we know his name. And here's his creepy voice. After all the wait, it hasn't been easy for me either. So much anticipation. I want everything to be perfect in its rightful place. And to be honest, I'm worried I went a little overboard. But hey, who doesn't love to plan a good party? Then again, the stuff, the atmosphere, the table setting, it's not what matters, is it? No, what matters is who's going to be there. And boy, do I have a surprise for you there. You're going to love it, Pete. There's no better feeling in this life. And we see George Stacy, who we've not seen in these pages since 4 years before I was born. But that's not all, friends. We see his daughter, Gwen. Take this scene in. Very, very creepy. And we hear Kindred say, "It's good to be surrounded by those you love." What a mystery. Who is this Kindred? This is what we're wondering as we move forward with this story towards its conclusion. We go back and the goblin, he's not dead at all. In fact, he's still alive. And he wakes back up, still in the sewer. Ha! Over there! We hear voices off screen. Over there! He's over there! Director Osborn. Just hold tight, sir. We're almost there. What's happening? We have to get you out of here, sir. This whole place is structurally compromised. It could come down on us any second now. Oh, God, what have I done? And you're here with, no. Don't waste your time on me. Save yourselves. I don't deserve your help.
On that point, can't say I disagree. Given everything you've been hiding down here, Norman.
Dr. Kafka, you're right. Oh, what have I done? Listen to me, Doctor. I know you have no reason to believe me or to trust me, but something has changed inside me. The Sin Eater, he's turned his weapon on me and... Oh, wait. Where is Sin Eater anyway?
I was hoping you could tell me. He seems to have disappeared.
He left his followers behind, and we've got to find him.
Find who?
The Sin Eater, he's just the beginning. The one behind him, he's even worse. He won't stop until everything is burned to the ground. And it's all my fault. His name is Kindred. You have to help me find him.
That sounds like a job for the authorities. I'll be turning you over to...
No, there's no time for any of that. They'd never listen to me, and even if they did, they'd hurt him, when what he needs is help.
Help? Why are you so concerned about helping this man you claim is such a danger to us all?
Because, Doctor, he is my son. And it's at this moment, readers, listeners, people that are creeped out right now, it's this moment that you realize that Kindred is Harry Osborn. And once again, in great fashion, the Green Goblin has ruined the life of his son, Harry Osborn. Harry Osborn has been a tortured soul in Marvel Comics for as long as he's been around. Anyone reading Spider-Man knows this. If you want to read Spider-Man or find more about Harry Osborn, you could start just about anywhere and go through his many addictions and divorces and you name it. And now he is a creepy guy that pulls bodies out of graves in the middle of the night. Thank you for joining me for my comic book reading. We'll be back next Saturday with Afterlife with Archie, and maybe Curry will bring his claws back to creep us all out again. Thanks for bearing with us on that. Remember, $25 or more, you get a t-shirt. $25 or more to United Way of Monroe County or a United Way affiliate in somewhere in this world, and we'll get you 2 t-shirts. What do you think about that? Either way, we're taking something in this campaign season and we're making good by it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Don't forget to wear your masks, and we'll see you next time.